story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello again, and thanks for joining us on CoreTV News at 3. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Nigeria's strike conductors have agreed to suspend their industrial action and return to their duty posts from Monday morning. The Nigeria Medical Association arrived at this resolution at an emergency delegate meeting in Abuja. Briefing newsmen at the end of the meeting, NMA President Kayode Obimbe says the strike was suspended after considering the current health challenges posed by the Ebola virus.
Suspend the strike action in the interest of urgent national emergencies while negotiations continue. Consequently, all medical and dental doctors are hereby directed to resume duty at their working posts with effect from 08:00 hours of Monday, 25th August 2014. 2 months of salary arrears or relativity have been paid, and this is a beginning of redress of injustice which we have been encountering for the past 22 years. As we know before, the arrears will be calculated for 22 years, but we just said calculate for 6 months, which shows how magnanimous and patriotic doctors are. We have also been able to extract from the government there is need to review the hazard allowance. In the phases of Ebola, hazard allowance was still 5,000 naira per month for a doctor. The government has realized that this was indeed injustice. So we have achieved something, and these are the reasons why we now felt with the outbreak of Ebola and all the cries of the people, I think we should just subject all the others. You know, we had a 24-point demand. All others we are continuing on negotiation table while we face the attack of Ebola and other incidental diseases that are ravaging the country.
Otent Hospital in Obalende area of Lagos has spoken on late Liberian American Patrick Sawyer, who brought the Ebola virus disease to Nigeria, saying it took necessary measures in line with international standards to prevent the spread of the virus. The hospital in the press statement says in spite of denial by Sawyer, who described himself as a senior diplomat from Liberia, adequate measures were taken, which included isolating the patient, implementing barrier nursing, and contacting the Lagos State Ministry of Health and the Federal Ministry of Health. Having treated for malaria with no significant improvement, the management of the hospital says it carried out tests for possible infectious hemorrhagic disease, especially Ebola, based on the fact that it was from Liberia, which had recently witnessed Ebola outbreak. In keeping with guidelines, the hospital was shut down briefly as full decontamination exercise is currently in the progress. The popular Liberty Stadium in Ibadan was filled to capacity on Saturday as the Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria TAN held a rally to persuade President Goodluck Jonathan to contest the 2015 presidential election. Olajumoke Olatunji brought back this report from Ibadan.
This is the first in the Southwest series of rallies planned for the 6 geopolitical zones to urge Jonathan to return for a second term. Added to this is an enlightenment on the achievements of the Jonathan administration. These women say it is only Jonathan that demonstrated genuine efforts and political will to give every part of the country equal sense of belonging. This, they say, is why Nigerians have massively turned out to urge him to contest the 2015 presidential election.
The Yoruba people have always supported President Goodluck Jonathan, but propagandists have said otherwise. So today is the day of proof.
It's just to show that the Southwest zone, they were solidly behind Mr. President and were urging him to run for a second tenure. And you can see the response of the people. They're willing to support him. It's not a question of we have to go and start begging them. It's something that we all yearn for. It's something that we're all waiting for.
Really, we are here to give our support to Jonathan's second term. He's a president who has done wonders in all fields, in the area of road construction, in the area of agriculture, education, name anything. He has already woken up the whole rail line.
Some key players in the transformation program say the president has done well in transforming the nation's economy and deserved all entreaties to return to office for another term.
Well, today is a day that a group of Nigerians, under the aegis of the Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria, have come to test the ground whether the Yorubas will endorse Jonathan for second term. And it is very impressive and very heartwarming that the result is a resounding yes.
This for me is a show of support for Mr. President across the length and breadth of our dear country. And I think that I feel personally fulfilled because the president has not disappointed our people.
We can now see how people of the Southwest are supporting Mr. President's presidency. And for continuity's sake, that Mr. President should go ahead with second term. With the Yorubas people are in the support for this continuity.
I think to see the amount of outpouring in this place is quite incredible. It tells you how much the people of this country love President Goodluck Jonathan. And I appreciate what he has done for this country.
Ambassadors of Nigeria TAN. It's an NGO here to us gathering friends and well-wishers of Mr. President to showcase achievements meritoriously to qualify for the next election. Southwest Caucus, Southwest version, we are holding today. And about 2 million signatures have been signed towards this. That shows that we are ready for Mr. President now.
Exactly 6 months from now, Nigerians will be heading to the poll for the 2015 general elections. This set of people here have come out to express their love, support, and joy for the administration and achievements of President Goodluck Jonathan. They believe so much in his agenda and are beckoning on him to seek a renewal for his mandate. What do you believe? CoreTV News, Ibadan.
In a similar development, the leadership of the People's Democratic Party in Kaduna has endorsed President Goodluck Jonathan for a second term in office. The leaders also passed a vote of confidence on Governor Mukhtar Ramalan Yero at a stakeholders meeting. Speaking at the occasion, Speaker of the House of Assembly says PDP lawmakers are rooting for Yero, who became governor after his predecessor Patrick Yakowa died in a helicopter crash in December 2012. Local government chairmen from all 23 council areas also endorsed Yero and foreclosed the possibility of primaries in the state. Responding, the governor, who spoke in Hausa, says that he believed in destiny and used the opportunity to declare his interest in seeking a return to office. Well, not all PDP stalwarts from southern Kaduna are prepared to support Governor Yero's ambition. They used the stakeholders meeting to counter a reason by a faction of the southern Kaduna people to endorse the governor for PDP's ticket. The party members accused Yero of being a stooge of Vice President Namadi Sambo, but he insists he's only interested in good governance.
They will endorse the Mr. President, but we've not taken a decision on the governor.
Primaries will still be conducted. That is when we will see whether endorsement is real or not.
If you have anything against me, come out and confront me. Stop aligning me with Vice President Namadi Sambo. Ramalan Yero is a mature person. I have personal views and opinions as well as likes and dislikes. Challenge my leadership if you are not satisfied with my performance. I was at the time a commissioner, at another point deputy governor, and now governor in the state, all within a period of 5 years. Point at anybody with such records in this state. So with this, I am assuring the good people of Kaduna State that I will ensure continuity of my predecessor projects in the states.
Members of the All Progressives Congress have clamored for Kano State Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso to join the race for the party's presidential ticket. The members addressed a press conference in Abuja where they outlined what they say are qualities that stand Kwankwaso out in Nigeria's main opposition party. The politicians have also formed a pro-Kwankwaso group to facilitate their quest.
He has run the executive aspect of the government. He was governor 2 times, and he also was deputy speaker. That means the National Assembly also he has basic experience to manage them. He also was Minister of Defense. These are key factors that bring about good leadership, and that is why we feel he can. We are saying we have seen good qualities or better qualities in him. So we will agitate him, we will force him to contest.
We have come together welded by a strong belief in the Kwankwasia ideology, which seeks essentially to propagate selfless service to the Nigerian people. Our collective aim and objective is to humbly persuade His Excellency to agree to lead Nigerians as our preferred presidential candidate in the forthcoming presidential elections come 2015. We have come to this compelling and convincing resolution after dispassionately assessing all the prospective presidential candidates of our great party, and after due consideration, we have come to the conclusion that His Excellency is incontestably the man that the cap fits.
The just concluded Osun election may have left many politicians craving for holiday after what they term the rigorous campaign and processes. However, it may be less unusual for the Labour Party candidate in the August 9 governorship election, Fatai Akinbade, who says he will leverage on his experience at the poll to push for the election of the party's candidate in the 2015 general elections. Franco Molape caught up with him at the Ada Golf Course in Buripe area of Osun State.
Like politics, it is not easy striking 18 holes a day playing a full-course golf. After his 4th shot at the governorship race in Osun, all is not over for the Labour Party candidate Fatai Akinbade. According to him, the just concluded election is now in the past, as is not deterred by his loss.
That's life, and that's the essence of election. I mean, somebody has to win and somebody has to lose, and life continues. So I've put it behind my mind, and life has continued. Things apart from politics, I'm into hospitality industry. I'm a civil engineer by profession. I have a construction company. I have so many things to do waiting for me.
Taking a strike is experimental and exhilarating. In golf, 18 holes is a full course equivalent of a 7-kilometer walk, which is obviously exhausting. Like the game of golf, many hold the view that politics is an exhaustive game and one has to be fully fit to win.
Perhaps there's a thin line between passion for politics and passion for the game of golf.
Golf is just, it's just one of the sports to relax and to exercise your body. So it doesn't have anything to do with politics. Is there any politics? No. No politics in golfing. It's just one of the games that, for those of us that cannot play long tennis or whatever, this is a very good, relaxing exercise.
Akinbade, however, still has his eyes on the 2015 general elections. Obviously, his party is in the race for other electoral posts come 2015.
We are contesting the House of Representatives and even the Senate. With Labour Party. So it's a continuous thing.
So what you are saying is that you are going to give it a shot in all these...
Of course, yes, not me, but at least my party is going to present a candidate for all the elections.
The politicians are generally cooling off at the moment after the August 9 governorship election. This will only be for a while, as a huge number of them are beginning to warm up for the 2015 general elections. From the golf course in Ada area of Borikpe, I am Frank Omalape, CoreTV News.
The National Conference may have come and gone with the report received by President Goodluck Jonathan, which he has also promised to implement. However, a professor of international law and also a delegate to the just concluded National Conference, Akin Oyebode, has expressed disappointment at some of the resolutions taken at the conference, which he described as an exercise in futility.
There at the conference?
I will say that it's a big disappointment. Although I will say I'm not altogether surprised, because I never thought that the president had the willpower to do the needful. Because the president is a survivor. He wants to survive, and there are political forces at play. He will not want to go against the grain of his party, of those who might make his re-election possible. But what Nigeria needed was somebody who was ready to put his political life on the line to ensure that we had a new Nigeria. But it seems that at the end of the day, all we are going to get is more of the same. An amendment, yet another amendment to so many amendments that have been touted. Then the game was not worth the candle.
He admonished members of the National Assembly against seeing themselves as the custodians of the sovereignty of the nation, which it says belongs to the people.
The National Assembly consists of political actors, and they will look at what's in it for them. You know, politicians think of the next election. We need statesmen that will think of the next generation. So I don't know. With all the respect I have for them, I don't think they should usurp the power and authority of the people to go to heaven the way they want. I think the people have ultimately the sovereignty of the nation, not the politicians who are in the National Assembly. The task of the National Assembly is to make laws for the peace, order, and good government of Nigeria, not to write a constitution for Nigeria.
Akin Oyebode is a professor of international law and a member of the defunct National Confab. Department of Security has issued an alert on the theft of the regalia of a Catholic nun in Kano. It fears that the perpetrators may plan to use the outfits for terror acts. The SS spokesperson, Marilyn Oga, says in a statement that 13 pieces of the religious outfits were stolen from a tailor's shop during the week in Sabongeri area of Kano. The state security outfit says its concerns stem from a recent trend of female suicide bombings in that part of the country. It therefore wants Nigerians to exercise greater vigilance with the users of such attires while soliciting cooperation from members of the public through provision of useful information. A group under the aegis Northern Adamawa and Southern Borno elders has urged the federal and the state government to find lasting solution to the recurring attacks in the area. The group, the chairman of the steering committee, Paul Wapana, made the call at the maiden meeting of the group in Abuja on Saturday. Wapana told journalists that the meeting was called to discuss how the group could assist their people who had been affected by terrorist acts. He says the group would get the statistics of the people that have been affected by the attacks so as to avoid a repeat of what happened after the 2012 flood disaster. He added that Northern Adamawa and Southern Borno elders is non-partisan, non-political and non-sectarian group. The police have launched investigation into an alleged attempt by a police inspector to assassinate the Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Adi Abolore. Force Public Relations Officer Emmanuel Juku says the move followed a claim by the NSCDC spokesman Emmanuel Oke that the unnamed policeman threatened to shoot at Abolorin. Oke had said the incident happened shortly after a team led by the NSCDC Commandant General arrested some suspected pipeline vandals and oil thieves in the Korodu area of Lagos. The NSCDC spokesman says the armed police team arrived at the scene and told NSCDC Commandant General that the area belonged to the police and that he has no right to be there. The police, however, said in a brief statement that the allegation is being investigated and the outcome will be made public soonest. You're watching CoreTV News on the hour. I'll be back shortly after this break with more stories. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
This is Judiciary Today.
The judiciary's function is to interpret the law. The judge in Lagos State is perhaps one of the most comfortable judges in the world.
You can't say because we are fighting terrorists or we're fighting terror, then you go about violating people's rights. We're not going to allow that in this country.
I think that's one of the reasons why some
that's what lawyers do.
I didn't say that what lawyers do.
The TV show that brings you in-depth review and analysis of judiciary issues that affect you.
All police officers to welcome victims with empathy and not say, what were you wearing? Where did you go? What were you doing at 10 p.m. at night?
As the Nigerian judiciary mourns one of their own.
He has gone to court on behalf of Nigerian citizens even without taking a cover.
It is time for lawyers to take their health very seriously, lawyers and judges.
Only on CoreTV. Now to stories outside Nigeria. A Libyan Coast Guard official says a boat carrying 200 illegal migrants from sub-Saharan Africa was feared lost at sea off the capital Tripoli, with 170 people still missing. Libya, which is mired in unrest and political chaos, has been a launchpad for illegal migrants seeking a better life in Europe, but who turn to people smugglers to get them across the Mediterranean. Since the end of July, dozens of people who have set off on the rickety boats from the Libyan coast have died at sea, and dozens more have gone missing, presumed drowned. The immigrants, who are believed to be Africans on a wooden boat, founded off the Guarabuli area. The Coast Guard in the area was lacking in resources and had only one patrol boat to search for the missing people. The body of a child was reportedly seen, who was nevertheless wearing a life jacket. The Coast Guard official was, however, unable to give any firm details of the nationalities of the victims of survivors. He added, though, that it seems that among them are Somalis and Eritreans. Israel kept up the pressure on Hamas in Gaza, carrying out multiple airstrikes that killed 6 Palestinians, 5 of them from the same family, as Egypt prepares to convene new truce talks. 83 Palestinians and a 4-year-old Israeli boy have been killed since Tuesday, when a previous round of frantic Egyptian diplomacy collapsed, shattering 9 days of calm. Abbas' meeting with Sisi came after he held 2 rounds of talks in Qatar on Thursday and Friday with exiled Hamas leader Khalid Mashal, whose Islamist movement is the de facto ruler of Gaza. Israel has vowed no let-up until it can guarantee the safety of its civilians, while Hamas insists that Israel must end its 8-year blockade of the territory as part of any truce. At least 2,097 Palestinians and 68 people on the Israeli side, all but 4 of them soldiers, have been killed since July 8. The UN says 70% of the Palestinians who have died were civilians. The Israeli military confirms carrying out dozens of airstrikes over the Gaza Strip on Saturday, and that at least 6 rockets and mortar rounds had hit southern Israel, with another 2 rockets intercepted. And that's it on CoreTV News this hour. I'll be back at the top of the hour with more. Stay with us.